Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We are exploring the Bronze Age. Ooh, pardon me for one moment. There. I wasn't quite prepared. I'm sorry. Exploring the Bronze Age, I was saying, here in the Shelmerston Museum. Let us return. Check my audio levels. I still make noise with my lips. And I guess my tongue. Alright. I guess we have to go back into the Bronze Age. Fair enough. However, I miss you so much, Cersei Jackson. Oh, time took its toll on Cersei, and she returned to Shelmerston looking for a quieter life. She found it in the museum, the place that first ignited her love of history. Oh no, put it out, you fools. She knows Morris has done a good job and respects his vision, but is keen to add to the collection. A study of the fish people, a history of the bracken harvest, even with a T, ethical shrimping. She can't wait. Oh, neither can we, Cersei. Alright, back to the back of the museum, past all the lovely exhibits, and frisbees? Well, we don't have time. I'm so curious about the frisbees, but
Well,
no.
don't suppose I'll ever look at Aggie's room the same way again, will I?
Morris, take a look at those skulls, please.
The skulls? Well, they have memories inside them? Oh, that's rather morbid, Sparky.
Not quite. Look, I didn't explain this before because I felt things were confusing enough, but that slicing is a bit more powerful than I've led you to believe.
Oh, well,
Well, we aren't limited to memories of people who are alive. People are bounded
Your
by time.
ghost face can
but
also
memories
time
aren't.
travel.
Check it out.
Alright. I'll check it out. With my balls. With my eyeballs. Actually, let me make sure we read that. This exciting new exhibit showcases the results of a recent archaeological nor redo, on the foot of Shelmerston's volcano. The unearthing of the preserved remains of a human woman, the Bog Lady of Shelmerston, now known as Aggie, along with a number of her possessions, now known as Aggie's possessions. In we go. Slice me. Slice me right proper.
oh, I didn't think dead stomachs could get queasy, but here we are.
Easy.
When are we, Morris? This is Shelmerston in Aggie's time. You should be able to find some memories of her here.
You are some dog, Sparky.
And a scratchy to you, Spot. Hello, sir. Once again, I'm invading your personal bubble of space. I love your necklace and this fine stick. You enjoy your day. Alright. What are we looking for? I know there was one memento in this second area, yes. Dear Unap, one must presume. The chief of the village. Currently. It appears to be all we can interact with. So let's dive right in. Unap, open your ear canal for me, would you? I'll be right in.
It was the worst night in the world when Aggie was born. It began in the old village.
That's fun for a
The
child.
one swept away by the
That's fun to
rivers of
hear.
fire. The ground and the earth split open and spat sparks. The sun
Terribly
hid,
rude.
and the huts burst into flame as we fled. I thought we would all die. Everyone washed in the burning orange death. And Aggie's mother howling with the pain of the child coming.
This is getting very dramatic right off the bat.
We made it as far as the cliff top by the sea. The mountain was still roaring and roaring. The rock ran in rivers toward the sea. The air smelled of death and poison.
Just as we were about to be engulfed by the orange death of the searing hot magma, Aggie's mother's water broke and saved us all. Sss, the sound it went.
But Aggie
Too much
was
information.
perfect. Small and angry, her tiny fists pummeling the air. I used my knife.
Take
to
that
cut
air. Aw, you've got to wash your knife
We
now,
chose
okay?
a spot for the new village, closer to the beach. The burning rivers
Closer to
cooled the
what
pumice
now?
and black
Oh, the
glass.
beach.
I made sure everyone knew that a life that began in this way would be special. Not everyone believed me, but Aggie proved me right.
What a delightful memory. Filled with searing dramas. Perhaps some small
My
tragedies
goodness.
along the way.
Giving birth like that
I
must have
enjoyed it
been
greatly.
awful. What a terrifying situation.
So, where do you think that knife is? Should we look around here or...
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen that knife before. Back at the museum, I reckon.
Okay, Mark, let's go.
This is a fun little gameplay hook. Leaping to the past for the memories and then back to the present museum for the mementos. I like it. It's all coming full circle. Back we go. Don't know if Sparky is ever going to activate the Grankin finder. We'll see. I'm assuming there are more Grankins in the museum. Okay, so we're looking for a delightful knife that we sorely hope has been washed. Shears. Well, that's kind of close. That's kind of close. There. The Cabinet of Curiosities. This knife has been passed down through the generations on Shelmerston for as long as anyone knows, always entrusted to the person on the island thought best able to look after it, usually toddlers. Although its origin and original purpose have been lost to time, it has always felt like an important piece of Shelmerston history. As is this large banner that says Bosphorus. An important piece. Ding ding dong.
Beautiful.
Dong.
And to think that people had not long stopped using
One
flint
memento
tools when
down.
this was made.
There is so much history in this knife.
Ooh.
I'd love to see what else it got up to.
Well, go ahead and slice your way on into it then. No, is that not possible? My curiosity. It will burn within me well into my afterlife. I feel put out. Okay, does that activate another skull
Getting the
then?
scent of Grenkins again, Morris.
Grenkins.
I'll pop up to let you know when we're close to one.
Hello again. So nice to see you there. Yes, that knife does. Let's go back and look. Does rather look like a leaf. What with all of its mossy, overgrowth? Not sure what the word is. It's molding sitch. Alright, same description on this. Does appear as though we have a Grenkin right here. Perhaps dear Aggie from the back? Is that possible? Wow! This goes into some significant muscle I wasn't expecting. Fantastic. She's filled with well-preserved organs. And her heart is just gorgeous. Her brain, also, surprisingly good shape. And inside of her heart lies a vast void of nothingness. Well, that's a bit of a disappointing answer to the mystery of the universe, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Inside your heart, nothing at all. This must be it. There we go. A little baby rattle situation. Hello, hello, so nice to see you guys. Hello, am I really here? And aren't you the man who can duplicate 30 copies of yourself? Yes, that's me. Which slice of me would you like? Just the outermost butt cheeks? It's your choice. I can't say I recommend it, but it's your choice. I won't stand in your way. How many Krankens? Aw, he's on all fours like a little cutie. 1 out of 10. 9 remaining. I suppose we should poke around the museum just a bit in search of Krankens. Though we have not activated our next memento. It's David Abrahams! He's still unconscious, I'm going to assume. He's not dead. No, certainly not dead. He's just sleeping. Got tired after being hit in the face with that Frisbee disc. The 1993 Vegetable Grow-Off. Probably the shears. Just a little slice of shears. About there-ish. Perfect. I'll see you soon. For some extra wet food, the kind you like. Sure, it's in ghost form, but that's cheap. So you can have as much as you like. A relief map of Shelmiston. Ooh, what lies beneath? Searing hot magma. I knew it. I knew it. It's a very accurate diagram to have included those pockets of searing hot magma. I've also said the word searing like 7 times since we began this session. I don't know why. I'll try to stop. Alright, no Grankin here. Unless it's deeper, deeper. Aww. A little colored eye cat. Stuck in the water? I'm assuming is water? Because he's a swimming cat, yes. The Turkish van cat was a local celebrity in Shelmiston. The Turkish van breed is famous for its love of swimming, and Bosphorus was no exception. He could often be seen paddling around with his cute little paws around Shelmiston to the delight of tourists, and even featured in an episode of the popular TV show Lost. I mean, Look West. Sorry. Nothing in mirror. Does not appear as though there is a Kranken in there. Let's try the Shelmiston Silver Band. Formed in the early 1990s by Henry Nancaro, and a feature of most public occasions, Shelmiston's brass band is an essential feature of the island's cultural heritage. Oompapa. Is it this one? The snaky one? Or is it the regular oboe? Let's check. Not that. Delightful. Alright, we'll check inside the sousaphone belonging to Ogden Beckett. Still no. The trumpet? It was the French horn all along. Alright. Somewhere around here. There we go. Good morning, good morning. So nice to see you guys there. Let me throw some delicious moons at you in reverence. Thank you, French horn. And if I may say so, too much tongue. But I appreciate that. Is there ever such a thing? The story of Shelmiston Lighthouse. Built in 1907, this exhibit shows its construction and features a number of historical items from its operation, as well as a scale model of the lighthouse itself. Ooh, is Willem Dafoe's mustache in here? Is that a special item? I'm disappointed in the lack of Willem Dafoe stash. Well, there's our dear friend. Tee-hee McGigglepants. Inside the diving bell. This is a reproduction of the diving bell used by the RRS Dogmatic. in its recovery of the archaeological treasures from the wreck of the HMS in 1989. Tremendously good. The Shelmerston fishfolk have been in talks to use the original. Pardon me 1 second. To use the original as an underwater sauna, utilizing volcanic vents off the coast. Genius! However, no Grankin inside. Hey, you need to get to the ferry. You need to get to the ferry before it all blows. I know what he's thinking to himself right now. This blows. But he doesn't know the half of it. Alright, the legend of the camel. Sightings of camels date back to the early 1800s. But are there really camels on Shelmerston? We look at the evidence. There is in fact a building called the Camel, and that's it. No, it's all true. The rumors are true. Okay. Maybe something inside the building. Nope. It's fairly hollow. Aw, but there's a scale model of me and Sparky enjoying some sheep shank at the bar. I love it. Melting! Sparky, run! Alright, what else would be that shape? Shelmerston Hall, in which there is a scale model of the laird. No comment. The laird as a camel. Prototype. And the laird's coffin. Yes. Aha. Yes, with the wonky lid. I see now. I see now how this wonky lid helps me greatly. There. Ah, you can't stay for long. You have to go reef jugs and swing by the bakery. Well, I hope that you buy some croissant. Actually, afternoon for you. I'm so glad to see you guys. Morning, afternoon, any old time. It's a right pleasure. Alright, we got the camel Grankin. Let's do the rake. Sure. The wreck of the HMS Mentor. This is a lovely portrait right off the bat. And such. Appears to be the model of a ship itself, which there is only this one. Alright. Try the backside. If I had a nickel for every time I've said that out loud. In perfectly innocent contexts, why would you? Do try the backside. Do try it. It kinda has to be this way so that it's just a slice of the front of the boat. I would think that would be about it, but it's not quite getting us there. Finicky, this one. But he's happy to see you. I would think those are the two dots. Well, does not seem to care for it. And it does not vibrate quite as much from this angle, for sure. It's just a bit too wide there. Aha! From the lower angle. Let's see. Thank you, Spark. The Shelmerston Stone. Ah, is this? Stone is the center of the local legend. The fishfolk believe it to be the sacrificial seat of a mythological figure called Aggie, said to have saved the island from destruction in ancient times. The stone sat near the beach in the grounds of Outram Hall until it was sold to a collector and loaded onto the HMS Mentor for transport to the British Museum in London. After the Mentor sank, it lay on the seabed for almost 200 years before being recovered. Curiously unaffected by its time underwater, no sea life or corrosion marked its surface. Upon recovery, it was donated to this museum, where it has remained ever since. Some people say it looks like Sparky, and I would agree. A barnacle cluster, avert your eyes. I didn't know they were going to have such terrible, affecting visual imagery here in the case. The siren, one of the few pieces of the ship that could be recovered, was the figurehead. The HMS Mentor's bell. Ding ding, it's time for mentorship. Alright, just giving a quick overview, so hopefully we can find the memento items easier later. However, we all know me, and I won't remember. I don't know what the purpose of all of this is. Some sort of sandwich board situation. This is a dreadful diorama. Reel-to-reel tape player, The Song of the Morlo, a traditional folk song. Recorded in the Camel Pub in 1969, sung by Gareth Jones and Paul McCartney. I don't know how they got him. A Morlo weatherproof. Bye for now. So lovely to see you there. Thank you for hanging out. Just a touch of his mannequin's pole is blue. I wonder what the symbology of this is. So I do not see anything that could directly be the sandwich board. Or a sandwich board adjacent thingy. Meat. Morlo. Morlo oil. Morlo meat again. Until the 1970s, there were many different brands of Morlo meat, but by far the most popular was Happy Sailor, which was sold banquet in 1956. A happy sailor eats Morlo meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the 1913 advertising slogan. Those poor, cute, blubbery beasts. Just being jammed into tiny cans for the sailor's profit. I do not know quite what we're looking for. Let's check inside the tape player. Ah, good, yeah. That would make sense from this side. It's a catching little ditty. 6 out of 10. Speeding right along. Oh, so speeding through the museum. Try not to knock over any of the exhibit, rascal. Let's check the reception desk for Grankins. Good. Looks to be a pencil situation. Maybe here. Or maybe we have to zoom. There. Get the lead out. 7 of 10. Alright, let's check down the other side of the museum now. Good to see you, Cersei. Ooh, don't make everyone sick. I just wanted to see if this side table was still accessible. That's where Sparky and my ashes are set in memorial. But not accessible after the first prologue sequence, I assume. The Shelmerston Festival of the Sea and the Kirsty brothers, vying to be next year's queen. Hoping to be the next queen of the sea is Audrey Pickering. Audrey Pickering is just a lot of syllables, but I kind of like it. Alright, no Grankins here. Within the Festival of the Sea, the Welkin crown, worn each year by the Queen. Traditionally, the Queen is the girl who was judged to have the best sea-themed hairstyle at the previous year's festival. That's a nice way of doing it. In instead of having like a kazoo competition or something. Like, no, last year your hair was nice. Here's a crown. The Pukatan Migration. For centuries, the birds of the island of Tipukata in the Indian Ocean, I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Indian Ocean? Is that? No. Have migrated to Shelmerston. Originally, they would come here to lay their eggs and raise their young. Wild! But these days, they mostly come for their holidays. Just laying eggs all over the island. I'm aghast, and yet very proud of you. A plumage diagram? Tell me more. Yes, yes, look at all this fine plumage. Anything inside the ferry? Just a bunch of layers. We've already explored the real thing. Benefits of being a ghost. Fishing in Shelmerston. Both the islanders of Shelmerston and the fish folk have always had a rich tradition of fishing the waters surrounding the island, where many different species of fish can be found. Show me some of these species of fish. I see the question in the chat there, what is your all-time favorite game? It's a little hard not to throw that to Elden Ring at the moment, just due to its pure length and variety. But I would also say Alan Wake ranks very highly. Control, also, is probably in the top 3, top 5 situation. I think there's one I'm forgetting. There's some old favorites for sure, like Psychonauts and Fable and some original Xbox classics. What is the one I'm forgetting? I always think, remember this, next time someone asks you what your favorite game of all time is. Ah, yes, Shenmue. Shenmue 2, specifically, is probably one of my original and favorite games. This is a very kind question. Thank you for it. We may have to launch into Shenmue 2 at some point. Collect ourselves some small Sega figures. 8 out of 10 Grankins. Thanks, Captain Hook. Now you leave those alone. I think we all know that you should just move on by now. Miscellaneous Volcanic Rock, 1986. Or maybe it's just Miss Volcanic Rock. Another competition of sorts. The Shallock. Tiny booties. We will search for them. Miles Humboldt is apparently trying me. Seems a little forward, but alright. I thought these were tiny, what's the word? Speedos. Tiny Speedos. But no, it's a replica punch bowl, if you'll see from this top angle. You finally got off of your butt, ooh, and started playing more Assassin's Creed games. Oh, I do love some Assassin's Creed. Especially Unity, which I know had a bit of a rough launch, but it was such a mind-blowing pleasure to play. I liked Unity a great deal, and it was one of the last Assassin's Creed games before they kind of upped the entire foundation, bones and meat of the matter. Okay, we're wrong, I guess? A touch of very contextual... Let's see. It's so close. Just need to find the right angle for it. Is it up or is it down? Is it neither? It starts buzzing around here-ish. But that doesn't help me too much. There. That one's hard, because it seems as though the backdrop of the sandals is not as invisible in the logo as it is in the real thing. Or is invisible in the logo, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Or if you don't, I'm sorry. Okay, so is there one more? And is it here in the Gansey Knitting? Gansey Knitting on Shelmerston. Wait, let's read. For generations, the fisher folk of Shelmerston needed warm clothes to keep them comfortable. Shelmerston Ganseys are famed around the world for their unique patterns and thick but soft wool from sheep raised right here on Shelmerston Island. Oh yes, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is fantastic, particularly with Cassandra, one of the finest characters in the series. I would also say top 3 games would be Assassin's Creed 2, Knights of the Old Republic, and Alien vs. Predator, the original PC. At least what I'm assuming is Alien vs. Predator. Knights of the Old Republic would definitely be up there as well. It is hard to beat the original crew of, like... Oh, how could I forget their names? Karth Onassi, or something like that? I loved those guys, even though I can't remember their names. It's been a while. I should look into getting that recent remaster on something. Okay, Ganseys are traditional woolen jumpers. Woo! Originally made to protect fishermen from the elements and from harpoons, they are kitted in one piece, seamlessly, with 5... So we're looking for some sort of post. A pillar post of much strangeness. Interesting that you'd wear the delicates, but okay. I like the craftsmanship. Gansey steels. I wouldn't think of it. This is a museum. Gansey patterns. Here we go. We found the secret pillar. Hello, hello. Welcome, slippery shroom. Just had to say that out loud. And welcome, Infectad and Dungeon Dave. I'm off on a naming spree now. I'm calling you out. I do apologize. Okay, so was that all of the Grankins? I do believe so. We can now focus on the mementos proper. Let us launch back to the past. Ooh, you've brought coffee. I don't suppose I could hold out my glass in a sort of, please, sir, I want some more situation. A sort of callback. Speaking of which, allow me to sip. I'll be right back with you. Oh, that is water. Unop's hut. Her memories have faded, it seems. In this pass-through, at least. Oove! Busy gathering sticks. Smooth oove. Not seeing any thought bubbles yet. Gorgeous. I like this one perched on presumably its father's back. Maybe ladies also have such long, glorious horns. I'm not sure. It was the Bronze Age. Anything is possible. People and goat. I would like an oil painting of this, please. Still not seeing any bubbles. Aha, there is the ceremonial stone of legend. As long as anyone can remember, this carved stone has been the spiritual heart of the island. It is where offerings are made, children are blessed, and the dead honored. What did you do to the children? They were just blessed a second ago. Perfect. It's a fishman. Safi, the priestess, is busy preparing a tincture for Kirk. Kirk is one of the few fish people to regularly visit the village and share knowledge with the villagers. Kirk, I'm so proud of you. Good job sharing that knowledge. What else is knowledge for?
Of course, we watched her. We had heard of her birth and seen her on the shore. Her feet sometimes in the seawater, her body in the sun.
A creature of both worlds.
We did not first. As a test, we left the mirror on the black shore, born of the volcano on the same day as her, and waited to see what would happen. See if it called to her. She picked it up, turned it from side to side. She took it home. The next time I saw her, I introduced myself. We sang together, and I showed her it worked. How if you emptied your mind and thought of air, light, and sea, you would see things in its surface. How things would unfurl in the future. Aggie was better at mirror gazing than any of us sea folk.
Mirror gazing?
She saw a
God,
girl,
I love how they talk.
her own daughter not yet born, as leader of the dry folk. I told Aggie to keep on gazing into that mirror, that one day the island would need something more than a leader.
What would it need? Obviously a custodian, but is that all? I need more details, man, and I want to hear your voice.
I had a box of rocks that looked like that mirror somewhere. Where did I put it?
Oh, we'll find it, Morris. Worry not. Worry your pretty little head not. Alright, quick check around. I guess that's the end of the line. Let me make sure if we go all the way back. I didn't miss any opportunities to invade that hatted gentleman's personal space. I guess that is the hatted gentleman, so no. The camera's pulled back much too far for that sort of thing. Oh good, we can still invade her space. Pardon me, madam. Let us return and try to find this steely mirror. I know there was an obsidian mirror here in one of these, but that looks a bit big. A bit big for it. Where else would it be hiding? Definitely not here on the end cap. Probably not in the Gansey exhibit. Seems like most of the exhibits have one relic element mixed in with them, though. So it could be just about anywhere. Morris sort of seemed to imply that he had a drawer with items of such a nature, rather than it being on display actively. But you never can trust that Morris. Let's just make sure it's not in this, geode. Gorgeous. Like a blowfish in here. Alright. Could be hidden behind or below something, too. Quick overview. Let's check in here. Like a hedgehog on fire. Gorgeous. And a advertisement for the classic game Viva Pinata. Nice to... Well, this is not the obsidian mirror they're looking for. There's nothing inside. Good morning, good morning. So nice to see you there. Word of the day is work. Ah, I'm so sorry. Lots of stuff to take care of. That's a dreadful way to spend a Saturday. But I do hope it's successful and profitable. God, so profitable. Alright, let's check the veggie drawer. Pinch whistle. Thought it said Pennywise at first glance. I'm really glad it's Penchwhistle. A giant parsnip with so many delicious layers. I mean, think of the marinating this bag could soak up. But however is appropriate. Ooh, pretty. Giant onion. Okay, didn't seem to be in there. We have a snuggly little bunny toy. Let me check inside this thing just in case. There's... Ahoy, lads! Marinated mashed parsnips are so good. Yes, please. And you loved Viva Pinata as a teen. Me too. Viva Pinata was a fantastic series, if short-lived. Alright, checking this end cap. Just in case. Mostly little dials, it seems. I can't really zoom into the lower quadrants. It seems to be true of most of the exhibits. Cast of a camel footprint. Not quite what we're looking for. I keep turning the wrong way. Maybe it's locked within a barnacle. I had the sneezes. It happens most of the time when I say barnacle. Maybe it's inside a barnacle cluster, as I was trying to say. Yes, some stuff is. A ship's telegraph. Okay. We'll remember that for later. Good. I see the quest holding up Sans AC. Are you okay? Yeah, so far. It's still early morning-ish, though the sun has been up for several hours, so it's roughly 77 degrees in here at the moment. It's supposed to climb up to around 86, 87 outside, which I'm not tremendously happy about. But I have, like, slightly damp washcloth in the freezer for emergencies, so we'll see how the day goes. But for the moment, I'm quite comfortable. Well, I'm never comfortable, but you know. Remember that there is a ship's telegraph in the barnacle cluster there. There's also an old bottle, and what is within? Old note. Maybe that will be one of the items as well. However, you can't put all of them in this case. What are you doing? Oh, it's so sparkly inside. I love it. I am not sure which Mirror Stone has run off to. Doesn't seem to be anything in the Morlo statue. Maybe inside this large sinostral shell. Pardon my sinostrals. This is a big Swedish fish. See? Bread. Okay, I guess we can check all the eggs. Just on the off chance, though these two seem to be like actual egg. Hollow replicas. Which is a little bit of a shame, I would say, to just steal their eggs and put them on display. Hey, one more time. At the last second I was like, nah, but just in case. At the last second, just in case. I already looked in here. I didn't see any polished mirrors. Sorry to interrupt your peace and quiet. Question tacos. Yes, please. Gotta be spicy question tacos. I love it. Spicy queso also sounds delicious, but I'm too curious. Let's start with the spicy questions. The lobster pot. Tickle, tickle. Replica fishing trawler with some sheep shank whiskey. Good place for it. Aboard the smuggling vessel and all. I am not in the mirror. Aha, miscellaneous volcanic rock. This must be what we're looking for. Mirrored rock, there. I should have remembered that sooner, how foolish. But at least we found our secret barnacle items. That's gonna help. I'll be right back.
Whoa. This thing is really powerful, Morris. Can you feel it?
Oh, I can feel it, Sparky. Seems quite powerful. Let's treat it roughly and head back to the Bronze Age. Should be another skull activated now. Number 3. What? Oh, here's a spicy question. What is the most attractive vegetable? Hiccup. I don't know why that's the first thing that popped into mind. It is not an attractive vegetable. It looks like dirt. And then it's just coconutty inside. But hey, we're into that sort of thing. Wink, wink. I just wanted to say jicama. Really. Sizzling. I would think that you, of all people, sitting there in ponderance, would have the thought bubbles. But no? It's just a big no. Okay. There you are. At the old tech. Fair enough. What do you have for us? Aggie's daughter, Ibni.
I was always fearless. My mother Aggie told me there was nothing I couldn't do. With Otsul and without, I hunted her in the woods and the hares on the mountain, all before I had taken my first lover.
Tell me more. Tell me more about the hares on the mountain and your first lover. That's how you start a story.
And younger still, one time Aggie had me knock her tooth out when she was in terrible pain. I didn't mind
I enjoyed
even
it.
when the blood poured out. It was
Yeah.
easy for me.
Natural-born warrior, taking delight in the pain of others.
Spears and knives were
But
my
also
nature.
helpful.
Death and courage were my meat and drink. I knew about Aggie's mirror, of course, but did not believe all of it.
You been chewing on the meat death again? What? I don't
When
think that's
Aggie
safe.
warned us the Mauler was sick and there would be fewer calves for the following years, none of us listened. It was to be my first cull. I wanted their blood. It was my nature. We would not take less of the Mauler just because an old woman told us to.
But what if she's right? That's what you seem to have not considered. That you're going to completely wipe out the Morlo population, and she had concerns, but
She came
never
to the
mind,
beach
continue.
after the Morlo slaughter. Her hair wild, eyes burning with fury. Raged and shouted like a woman out of her mind. "We had killed too many," she said. Then she left the village. Told us she was done with all of us. Forever. Otsul marked me with oil and blood. I did not mourn my mother.
Tooth
leaving.
blood.
I was young and foolish, and the sight of her ashamed me. But of course, see what was to come.
The hard times that your actions have led to. The consequences catching up to you and your bloody teeth. Yeah, I got it. Sorry. There. It was always that weird sort of Pinocchio situation happening. We finally fixed it.
To think that they were still having the same arguments about the Morlo way back in the Bronze Age.
Aggie must have sensed the trouble ahead. Maybe she was trying to find a way to prevent it.
I hope that she succeeded. Or else, frankly, we're all a bit screwed here in the present day. Back to the museum. Let's find this, oil container? Is that what it is? Some sort of container for tooth blood. I don't think that was one of the items we found inside the barnacles. So where would it be hiding? That's related to the Morlow Cull. That's a very modern exhibit. Aha, this one maybe. In we go. In further. Bone-carved Morlow oil lamp. After the Morlow Cull, the oil and blood was collected and used to decorate the faces of those who had taken part in the cull. Sounds sanitary?
What a beautiful object. Delighted to have it in our museum.
I see this in Ohio. You have tons of weird church signs, but you keep passing one on the highway that is just attached to a tree in red paint that says, "Are you ready?" It sounds very sinister. Just a scrawl of blood on the side of the road. Are you ready? I don't know. All right, back to the skulls. We have 2 mementos remaining. And then hopefully we'll actually get to speak with Aggie. I can't wait. She's been my inspiration, lo these many hundreds of years as a ghost. Sir, your beard. It's so bushy. Okay. Aww. Running the old marriage ceremony by the chieftain, are we? Unap is giving her blessing to Uv and Yanya's marriage, despite her misgivings about her daughter marrying the village stick gatherer. It's an important job. Everyone needs sticks for the fire. If it wasn't for Uv, none of us would have warm toastiness. Plus nothing to impale our mallows with. It would be dreadful. Stop laughing. Here we have Kirk in the goat pen. He's being slowly chewed from this angle at the wrist. But he doesn't seem to mind. Stick it to
She
them,
was
Uv.
alone, and I would bring her food sometimes, samphire and sea urchins. She would make dry food and we would eat it together. Textures unlike any we knew that broke apart in your hands and in your mouth.
Even back in the Bronze Age, they were still discovering the delightful new invention of toast.
We would sing together, make tea together. We became her family. The dry folk left her alone.
Make tea together? I don't suppose that's a euphemism? A little bit of innuendo? No, just tea?
She
Okay,
had a
good,
companion
good.
for a few seasons, a hind who came down from the mountain and slept at her fire. And then, for a few more, a golden hare that ate from her hand.
Aww. I want one of those. I mean, I'd be terrible at caring for it, but you would always be able to eat from my
One
hand.
night we all felt it. Those of us in the water and those above. The island waking, rumbling,
Shimmy, 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 shimmy.
alive again, more furious than before.
Oh, I see you running away. So nice to see you. I would suggest rust red myself, if it's still up for debate. But that's just selfishness. Pleasure to catch you for a bit.
I found Aggie awake, tending her fire. unsleeping, unresting, staring into her mirror. She told me she'd seen the island sinking into orange fire and boiling sea, lost
my
forever
tootsies.
above and below. The village and our town in the sea caves,
my webbed
all
tootsies.
gone. Aggie went to
I'd
the
listen
shore
to
and
Aggie.
blew the sinistral shell, calling our people up from the water. Aggie sang for them, the oldest song, and we spoke for some time. That night, the sea and sky was all the same color, a deep grey blue like a mackerel's back without the glitter.
Who took the glitter off that mackerel's back? He has a performance.
As the dawn approached, Aggie left the beach to return to her people, to tell them what must be done.
The determination in her eyes truly inspiring. Let's just stare at that for a while. Yeah, I like this memory. Hello, hello. So
I'm
nice
not
to see
sure
you there.
I want to see what
Welcome.
happens next.
We have to, Morris.
Not sure you want to see what happens. Well, let's go find that shell and then we'll decide together. There's one more memory to see yet. Morris has lost his stomach for this sort of work. But that's fair. It's been a long day. Alright, I know I saw the shell somewhere over here. Yes, the Festival of... There's no turning back now, Morris. Press your ghost face onward.
Such a
Face.
small thing. But it changed the entire course of our island.
Alright. Back to the last skull. It's time, Morris. Steel your courage. Gently clutch your bosom to steady yourself. Here we go. Hi. If you can hear me, wiggle one of your ears just a little bit. I don't think he can hear me. Oh, there, he can hear me. Good. Good. Greatest of all... No. Well. Didn't know you could look at his nipples, but here we are. Oh, alright. Let's proceed with the game and stop peeking at his nipples for once. For once. How goes the village? Otzel's story. Every week the entire village gathers for a communal lunch. Delicious. And while they're waiting for it to cool down, Otzel tells them another installment of his very long story. And Ashab begat Athap, and Athap begat such and such. Tell me, Otzel, what do you remember of this story? Fish nipples? Oh my.
We heard the shell and knew Aggie had
This
returned.
early in the morning?
Ibni was the
Goodness.
leader then. It had taken many seasons, more than we would have liked, but there were finally enough Morlo again, and our village was growing. We were
Hooray.
strong.
Now stop killing them. Let the Morlo live in peace and collect seaweed for you so that you may survive. But how will we cover our faces in blood? They ask. Well, you just have to give that up. You just have to stop that part of the ritual.
Some of the younger ones didn't know her and didn't want to hear her. Called her a moon-shot crone. But Ibni looked in her mother's face and saw the truth of it. The end would come. The earth was growling. Would be hot rivers of death and clouds of poison. But Aggie brought us the answer. She would give herself to the island. Ibni's voice shook. Surely a deer or a goat would be enough. The year's finest, blackest calf. Down her eyes and shook her head.
I
We
am
all
the
knew.
year's finest, blackest calf.
I offered my blade, but Aggie turned me away. She took her knife that had cut her own cord the night the volcano last erupted, and his fingers tight around the bone hilt. "It must be you, Ibni," she said, "and it must be now, before the sun comes up. This day, this morning, or we are all gone. The village, the people, the island."
I didn't know there was a
Aggie
flat-out
embraced
murdered
her
by your daughter
Ibni
situation.
whispered something, but I could not
intense.
catch the words. Both women's faces shone with tears. Aggie sat on the ceremonial, the tears streaming now from all of us. Aggie delivered her final message. She told us her body must not be burned or given to the sea, but lain in the earth of the island beneath the mountain. Ibni was shaking, and then I realized it was not just Ibni. The whole island was trembling under our
Shimmy,
feet,
shimmy,
waking
shimmy,
up.
shimmy.
Aggie told Ibni to be quick. The end was coming.
Excuse me. Bad time to swallow.
As Aggie took Ibni's hand and guided the knife to her side, we saw the fish folk rising from the sea, hundreds of them, so many. I had no idea there were so many.
The fish folk rising from the sea, the war, the drought.
Aggie was quiet the whole time, but Ibni cried out. A sound of longing and hurting from her heart like I had never heard. Then she fell silent, and as Aggie's life poured from her body, the island and everything on it fell suddenly still. Utterly still.
Too still.
We wept.
We began to
then,
get concerned.
in sorrow and relief. Then the fish folk were among us, countless, numberless. One embraced Ibni, holding her up as it seemed her own legs might give way. When the sun came up that day, land and sea folk stood together for the first time, talking and singing the old songs, Aggie's song, together.
What a beautiful moment.
Ibni and the fish folk
Thank
took
you,
Aggie
Aggie.
up onto the mountain. They laid her in the peat alongside the knife and all the things she would need on her journey.
They laid her right in the peat. Well, I'm here for you, Aggie.
Ibni watched over Aggie for days afterwards. Before she was covered, she placed a sacred carved stone, Aggie's beloved hair, inside her mother's mouth, to guide her and help her keep the mountain still forever. And so it was.
I guess we know where we're searching next. My apologies, Aggie. Your corpse has gone undesecrated lo these many years, but now we're gonna have to fumble around in your mouth for small rabbits,
Aggie.
and I hope you don't mind.
Now that's bravery.
Thank you, old soul. I appreciate your stories, Aggie. Oh, maybe that wasn't her brain we were seeing earlier. I just assumed based on the color and shape. But maybe that was indeed the rabbit. Get rid of the bones. That's the way. That's what I like to see. I guess she does have a brain too, but also a carved hair.
Hey, Sparky, it feels a bit, disrespectful looking
Doesn't it
inside Aggie's
just?
body like that.
You were the one who dug her up and put her on a plinth, Morris.
Yeah, but I
Relax,
It was in me
Morris.
younger
This
days.
body isn't Aggie anymore. She's long past needing this old thing.
well, all right then.
Thank you for your sacrifice, Aggie, and thank you for letting me be very disrespectful to your corpse after digging it up and putting it on display like a circus side. I really appreciate that, and you,
Okay, Morris.
Sparky.
I'll level with you. We absolutely didn't need to find Aggie's mementos in order for me to sniff her out. She's here, and waiting for you. She has been this whole time.
But then, Why did we need
You just
to
wanted
visit
me
the
to learn
Bronze
about her,
Age?
didn't you?
Aggie thought it was important for you to see those memories, so you would understand her
Well, it really
past
was.
before you met her.
Because
But
those
also,
goats
wasn't
were
it cool?
adorable.
That it was. The things I've seen now. Oh, Sparky, thank you so much. To think, for a while there, I was worried that being dead was gonna be boring.
You are very welcome, Morris. Okay, so, shall we go say hello to...
Yes!
I would love to. And thank you for leading me on this magical journey of spiritual and emotional growth, Sparky. You are truly the best dog. Off to Aggie we go. Does that mean there's one more sequence? One more sequence with me having an excuse to sing Neverending Story? No, I guess not.
Sparky, it's so good
No
to
more
see you
Neverending
both.
Story then.
Hey, Aggie.
Wait, you know me?
Of course I do.
It is
Morris
a privilege.
Lupton, one of the best-loved men in the history of Shelmerston, with the very finest dog.
Me?
Aw, stop it.
I don't know.
Come now, let's go out of this place, into the air.
Does that mean maybe there's a...
The one Palmerston that
No,
looks
no Neverending
just
Story.
the same as the first day I saw it. I suppose it always will.
I love this beach. It's always been my favourite beach. I'm gonna go run.
Aggie, look at Sparky. She's shining.
That's the hope and the joy shining out of her.
That's the glitter
That's
off a
it,
herring's
isn't it?
back.
The point of all of this.
It is hope, home. This island, it chose of you just as it chose me.
And where will you be heading now? Heaven or something?
Heaven,
Bronze
what's
Age
that?
heaven?
Well, I don't quite know how to explain it. But to me, it would be an awful lot like this beach.
Forever.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm hoping to see it, my daughter.
So nice to see you there. Good luck
It's
on the
been
book.
a very
Thank you for
long
stopping
time,
by.
But I remember her. We never forget the ones we love, do we?
We never
Morris?
forget the ones who've slurped
No.
our tooth blood.
I don't suppose we do.
I think she wants something, Morris.
Huh.
Belly
Would you
rubs.
look at that? I just found a tennis ball in my pocket. Here you are, girl.
Is that it? Hooray! We've made it to credits. I wonder if there's going to be some sort of secret end credits sequence where there's going to be a cameo from a big comic book character that nobody really recognizes it until they Google it. Probably not, but we could stick around just to see. Oh my god, it's Nick Fury! No, it's some fish people. Sorry, I got confused. This was such a lovely game. A very zen-like experience. Just zooming around things and learning about such a lovely island. A great place to live, hopefully for some time to come. I don't know if we ever really got an answer as to who is custodian now. Did we just reinvigorate Aggie and Aggie is maintaining the custodianship? Or did 1,000 days pass while we were pushing our face through things, and we are the new custodian? Maybe it's not really important. Maybe the entire point is to let go of the idea of custodianship over an island, and that the island itself is our custodian. That's what makes it special. But is the volcano gonna go off and kill everyone? I guess is my at the base level, my question. Is everyone going to fry? No. They're gonna be fine. So I will have to go back through this at some point to do all of those little whimsical giraffe riddles. That part we just left out of this for time's sake. But this was such a special game. I hope if you ever have the chance to play it, you will take the plunge. I recommend it wholeheartedly, as does Sparky, I'm sure. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Just make sure there's nothing else. Spit us back to the main menu. Patooey. Perfect. What a pleasure. I will see you guys soonish if I can maintain my body coolness here, my body temperature, in the lack of air conditioning. I will see you guys very soon for a new adventure, or perhaps we'll jump back over into Get Even or something. I need to stop procrastinating. But I sure love you, and I will see you as soon as possible. Thank you for hanging out with me. Bye for now.